good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this spinning ball, this globule called Earth. My name is Jade. This is How to App on iOS. And it's midway through the week here in Melbourne. Good times. Yeah. I hope everybody is doing well, and hopefully we've worked out the little gremlins we had in the internet yesterday with the sound and everything. I do apologize for that. I do believe I have sorted it out. I think we just had some internet issues yesterday, so I'm hoping that's all good. If you are watching over on Facebook, welcome along to the show. You can leave a comment and we will see it over here at youtube.com/JadeStarr, where everybody's chatting and doing the stuff. So you can come over here and watch as well. Also, you can catch the show at www.howtoapponios.com to check the live stream from there, or you can catch up on playlists of other episodes and all of that stuff. There's plenty of stuff there. This is 133 episodes, so there's plenty of content for you to go and catch up with. Isn't that cool? And if you don't know who I am, I should let people know every now and again. My name is Jade Starr. I am a musician and a content creator here on YouTube. I've been creating music for over 35 years. I'm a singer, multi-instrumentalist, and my musical taste go anywhere from like jazz, fusion, to death metal, grindcore, to pop music, noise. I love music. That just is what it is. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll try to learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm currently learning violin at 48 years old. I think that's how old I am. I always forget because I just don't celebrate birthdays. And I happen to be transgender. And if you've got a problem with that, I don't give a fuck. Sort it out. It's your problem. So, as I said, you can always come over to How to App on iOS, and here is the website. So the stream's always there to view. As you can see, there it is, and you can chat from there as well. Plenty of content to check out and all that jazz. So it's updated daily. Well, yeah, with videos, but the live stream's there every day for you to watch. Also, I'm not really, let's have a look. We'll skip over here too to have a look at any price drops. There really hasn't been anything. So if you've been following the Black Friday sales for apps, most of the apps that were on sale through Black Friday and Cyber Monday, a lot of them actually will stop on December 7th. Not all of them, so I can't give you a guarantee of that, but most of them will run out by December 7th. So let's say hello to folks in the chat because I can see you all there. Hi. Danny Broderick, Gary Hubbs, SM Borthwick, Panderget, Scott, Deep Gravity, Pete Johns, one of my admins, Cold Acre, another fantastic admin who does great work here. Did I say Tom Rochelle? Doctor Zorders. I'm going to do that every show now. Anyone else I've missed? If I've missed you, just say hello and I'll catch up with you as best that I can. So there's one thing here that I do like. This little app here called Audic Audio MP3 Converter. I have this and I've used this a bunch of times. I think it's a subscription. I'm not sure. So let's have a look actually. I think it's normally $3.99 and now it's down to 99 cents, but I'm sure there's so there's an in-app purchase to go pro, and I think it unlocks a bunch of features. But then I got this app back in the day when it was really hard to transfer files to MP3 on iOS because there's not a lot of apps that do it. M4As and WAVs and stuff like that. And I got this. It actually converts video to audio as well. But I will let you know, sometimes mine crashes. So let's just test it out before anybody takes my advice or anything. What is it? Audic? Do I have it on here? Yeah, there it is. Audic. So as you can see, I still use it to transfer MP3s here. But you can also get, what's it called? Audio Recorder Pro 7. That's free, and that will turn any file into MP3s as well. I just want to see if this is still stuffed. So let's take this video here and import. Yeah, see, it's crashing. So I would recommend not getting that if you want to transfer videos to audio. That's that problem solved. Problem solved. Yes, indeed, you do. So what are we looking at today? We are looking at Bleass's new app called Saturator. So let's get into first, what is a saturator and why would you need a saturator? Because there's a lot of people who I've spoken to, and you know what? I never used to know what a saturator was as well. Hello, Benedict Stewart. Welcome along also, my friend. So a saturator is exactly what it sounds like. It saturates, your sound. Now think of it kind of like distortion, but a lot of the saturation apps you will find now going on the app stores include things like bit crushers. So think of a distortion pedal, but then distorting it so much further that it actually breaks down the actual signal that's coming in and really just destroys the bits down to like an unlistenable noise at times. So there's levels of saturation that you can use. Looking at today's app from Bleass, it's not only that kind of destructive, distorted sound that you can get from this app. A lot of the saturators that are around now have things like an LFO included, like EQ. So you've got a whole lot of, as we get more modular with these apps, there's more things involved in just saturating and destroying something, destroying the sound like that. So we're looking at two apps today and tomorrow that are kind of, sort of, maybe sort of the same, but from two very different companies and two very different price scales. Hello, Lady Rodaline. Good to see you. Now, I'm not doing the two apps back to back as a comparison because that's not fair, because they both do a fantastic job at very different prices and very different looks and feels. All right. So now Bleass make fantastic apps. Let's cut straight to the point here. Bleass don't fuck around and they make great apps. Hello, Nina, as well. Good to see you. So before we jump into the app, I will let you know that I have two copies of the app to give away, and all you need to do is leave a comment on this video over the next couple of days and subscribe to the channel, and on Friday's show I will announce the winners as per usual, because on Friday we have an interview with a really amazing musician and a friend of mine named Louis Rojaz from the band Shanghai, and seriously, don't miss it. If you are a fan of music like Frank Zappa or that kind of stuff, really off the wall, Mr. Bungle, Faith No More, really crazy music like that, hang around for that interview on Friday. Thursday, your time if you're living in the rest of the world and living in the past, because Lewis will be coming on. I think Jade meant Voice Record Pro 7. Yeah, that's it. So many apps, Greg. Thank you, Greg, and hello, welcome to the show. So many apps, man, I forget. So yeah, be here Friday to find out who's going to win the two copies of Bleass Saturator, and to hang out and listen to Louis Rojaz's story and his awesome music, because it is well worth it. And we're going to really get into his studio and stuff. He has a fantastic home studio. So it's going to be really interesting. So let's have a look at this app today and how we're going to do this. Normally I'll open up something like AUM, but let's do something a little bit different today. Yeah, because I don't want to do the same thing every episode. Let's make a song today and we'll put this on every track, and we'll see if we can turn the track from something really basic sounding into something really crazy. Yeah. G'day, Russ. Long time no see, Russ. I was just finished watching Doug over at the Sound Test Room, who's working on a new album live. So if you're not a subscriber to the Sound Test Room with Doug, subscribe, man, because Doug creates fantastic content and he's an amazing musician. Cool. I'm going to have some coffee. So a bit of ASMR. Oh God, that's better than sex. Although I've forgotten what sex is. Anyway, so that's another story. Let's jump over to the full screen on my iPad. So we're going to use GarageBand today. And while we're opening this up, I'm going to tell you a story. So I have a really close friend of mine who's gone through some really hard times this year. She's a nurse and lives in the US. And she works in an elderly person's home, and she's had to watch a lot of people die of the plague this year, and she actually got the plague herself twice and has been extremely sick, and it's been a really hard year for her. And she's really struggled to find an outlet to do, just to break away from the misery that's going on in the US at the moment, all the stuff that's happening politically and all this plague that's happened. And yesterday we had a phone conversation. She's a very dear friend of mine, and she was saying how she likes watching this show, but she feels like she doesn't understand any of the stuff because she's not musical. And finally, I convinced her to download GarageBand on her iPhone. And I sat there on the phone describing to her just how to bring up her piano and stuff. And I'll tell you what, man, the joy I could hear in her voice opening up this app, and because she played piano when she was younger and guitar, and to hear the joy in her voice of having this new outlet on her phone, and to hear these sounds, and it was just so overwhelming for me. So overwhelming. So much so, when I got off the phone call, I said, I've got to go because I want you to play with it. I jumped on to here, to OBS, like I do in this show, made my own private how to app episode for her on the basics of GarageBand, and then sent it to her. Oh man, and I just know today she's fallen down the rabbit hole of creating music, and I really hope that it helps her deal with a lot of the shit that's going on now, because I love you, Becky. So anyway, let's get into what's happening today. Hello, Paul. Welcome along, my friend, as well. Good to see you. And Deep Gravity, always good to see you too. Let's kick things off. What I'm going to do is build a few tracks here, and then we're going to add Saturator onto some of these tracks, and we're going to turn them into something else. So we'll start with, and we're not doing anything fancy music-wise, all right? Nothing fancy-pantsy, because nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, yeah. Wow, that's really old school and unhip. So we're just going to go to the auto drummers, and we're going to go, yeah, let's go with Kyle, because like he never gets enough work, that dude. Yeah. So this is Kyle. And what we shall do is just grab a bit of a beat from Kyle. So we're just going to use 8 bars for now, and we'll hit it. Make sure we got some sound, because we don't have sound. That's typical. That's not unusual. It's not unusual to not have any sound. Yeah. Now we should have some Kyle magic. Oh, go Kyle, man. Oh, Kyle's so good. Don't you just want to throw your underwear on stage towards Kyle? He's just a legend, isn't he? Let's make him a little bit more complex. So we'll hit play. And if you don't know, you can mess around with Kyle's complexity over there and make him more of a complex person. We'll bring up his... No, that's a bit too... That's cool. No. We don't want these double... Let me just make it nice and basic, yeah. That'll do, that's fine. We'll just amp up his fills a bit. Cool. So there's Kyle in all his glory. He's hired. We give him a salary now. And we're just going to bring in the bass here. So again, nothing fancy. We're just going to bring in the smart bass here. And I know we'll turn this up to number 4. You know what? So I don't know if you know this, but you're probably aware, but there are some people who are probably watching who don't know. When you touch a note with one finger, you get that. If I touch the same G chord with 2 fingers, you get a variation. Now if I hit the G with 3 fingers at the same time, yeah, now I like that. Cool. So yeah, you can mix it up and get these different sounds. So you not only get these 4 buttons over here with your autoplay, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get a variation of all of them by just touching with 1 finger, 2 finger, or 3 fingers. So that's cool. So we're just going to do something here, and we'll go to a C for a bit and back. So nothing fancy, and let's kick it off, and we'll hit record. Cool. So that'll do for now. So now we've got a bit of funky bass there, man. That's nice and funky. So we're building that up. What I'm do now is just grab my guitar, because we all know the virtual guitar is not very good on GarageBand. So I'm just going to plug in my guitar. We'll add a new track here. Now, I'm probably not going to record anything here. So we hit clean. Oops. Oh, man, I hit the wrong one. I've hit monster. No monster. We'll hit clean and in the fun section. And what do we want? I want channel 2. So down the bottom here, we're going to select channel 2 because I have a 2-channel interface with my guitar plugged in. You all would know by now, if you're subscribers of the channel, my room gets really hot. So when I went to bed last night, I had tuned my guitar, but by the morning, there we go, everything just goes out of tune by itself. It's like gremlins come into my room in the middle of the night and just put all of my guitars out of tune. Cool. That'll do for now. So what we're going to do first, and I better check who's come into the room while I've been not looking at the chat. Let me scroll up for a sec. Okay, Joshua, welcome along. Good to see you. And Ed, hello, hello, hello. How low can you go? Cool. So we've just got this basic clean microphone up the top. I'm just going to open the track edit sections. Yes, the tuning gremlins are real. They're sneaking every night. I'm going to just add some reverb to this. Just something basic to give it a bit of body. And we'll head over to plugins and EQ, hit edit. And where it says none, we're going to add an audio extension. So the good thing about Bleass Saturator also is it runs very low CPU. So you can have multiple instances of this running in something like GarageBand, which doesn't like high CPU apps and shits itself quite often and lets you know by giving you the dreaded optimizing performance. So this shouldn't give you anything like that with its low CPU usage. So we've installed this now. We've added it as an app. And here it is in all its glory. So it's can I make it bigger here? No, I don't think so. Some of them you can, but this one we can't. So all of a sudden, I'm just going to turn it on and off. So it's actually in the mix here. Let's turn it off. And you can hear straight away, it's given it a bit of loudness there. So it's already chunked it up and just given it a bit of brightness there. And it's set to just the defaults. There's nothing being touched here. This is all basic defaults. Let's go across and look at it from left and right, because it is modular, and a lot of Bleass apps are modular and very easy to use. So in this section here, the first section, this is your drive section, and they all have the title up the top of each section so you know what's happening. So 4 lovely sections here. And within the drive, you have your drive as the first section. And down below, you have a 3-part EQ there. So a low, a mid, and a high. And you've got a high cut and a low cut up the top. Very basic stuff, nice and easy to understand. So nobody should feel threatened. Okay, we don't like people feeling threatened by the looks of apps. In the middle here, we have a waveshaper, and we'll get into that soon. And the next one, this very skinny one here, just says bit. This is your bit crusher. So this will absolutely take your sound and decimate it and just destroy it down by every little particle and split it up into space like a spaceman who's got detached from his spaceship. And you've got an LFO here, and the final part is a dry and wet output. So the beautiful, let's go back to the start here. So we'll start with the drive, since we're on a guitar. What's really amazing about this drive is it goes really loud. They've added 60 dB of loudness to this. So I'm just going to push it. I'm going to just chug on the E and check this out. Hopefully we don't overkill the sound. That's really aggressive. So you can hear that's a distortion, definitely, as it would really pump that up. And you can see I've only pumped it up 23 decibels. So if I turn this down in the mix here, turn that guitar down, we'll pump this right up. 60. Wow. And I've turned this down so much here in the mix, but it's... But remember, this isn't a distortion pedal, okay? It's not a distortion pedal. This is it's a saturator, and the way the drive works, it actually is tearing shit apart. So it's a gain, right? So it's not like just a pedal. But perfect for bringing a guitar alive, right? So even if we just go back here and turn this off, there it is without it. Now just turn it on. So it really can bring things to life. So imagine also this can bring a lot of things to life with many different kind of instruments, okay? So not only that, vocals, keyboards, basses, you can actually, and what we're going to show you with the drums and bass, it will turn these basic sounds into something completely different just by saturating it, right? So we'll just head over here. Now, I'm going to go through just a couple of the presets in here. So there are 2 sections of presets. You've got presets in the first section in the drive section, and here they all are. So you've got, I think it's about 40 presets all up. So you've got a whole lot of presets in the drive section, plus you also have a bunch of presets in your wavetable section, okay? But we'll start with just clicking through these, and I'll try and pick ones that are made more for something like a guitar first. And then we'll show you how it can decimate the guitar next. So this is just a basic overdrive. Cool too, because like, not everybody wants to use, you know, your typical djent kind of sound. So if you're looking for a really different, unique kind of distorted sound, this is perfect for that, right? Let's go. You've got a blues driver here. So not much has changed there, but it's just brighten the sound up. What else we got? So we've got a British clean here. You hear that? How it's really brightened this one up? Knew that G was going to give me trouble today. It's more of a brighter sound there. And again, like I've just got this effect on, and all I've got a very light reverb, so there's nothing really going on here. But let's add, so you got a, ooh, that's going to be mental. So we've got a crunchier sound here. So you can get some really crazy sounds out of this. Let's add something really mental to it just to show you how extreme this shit can get. All right, but we'll get to that. Man. So you can hear in this sound, the LFO's turned on. All right, so we've had a look at the guitar. Let's put the guitar away, because I'm not going to record any guitar into this track. We're just going to really concentrate on this bass and drums. But before we do that, and we've got this vocal track open and everything's set here, why not? Let's just go back to the default sound, and let's close this out, turn off Bleass, and let's do this. Let's change the channel to input 1. And see what's going on over here. Hello, cool. So we have some vocals here. And let's just give some volume there. Whoa, yeah, oh my. Cool, there we go. So we've got vocals happening there, and we're going to really destroy some vocals, because if you're into like doing dream metal or anything like that, and you want to get a cool distorted sound happening on your vocals, something really unique, you can do this. Use this to get some really crazy psycho-aggressive vocals happening. G'day Mike Holmes, good to see you, and Alex Backus, welcome along. And yes, I'm still using the iPad, Alex Backus. Just because I have a Mac does not mean I will abandon my beautiful iPad Pro. I am using all of them combined, because that's why I got the Mac, to make them all work together like a big happy family. All right, so let's go through some effects on here and see what we can do with vocals. So again, we've just got a basic delay on here, a basic reverb, and if I just turn this on, all of a sudden, that's got a lot brighter straight away. So if I'll just, whoa, you can hear how that's thickened up and given a bit more body. So it's like it's like when you add a bit of grit or the distortion within GarageBand here to just gritting up your vocals. So you don't have to overdo Bleass Saturator on vocals, All right, you can just add a little bit of body to this. So let's play around with it and see what we can get. Get ready, because it's going to get hellacious. There's going to be some pretty crazy sounds coming out just using presets. Whoa, hello, yes. So let's turn down that microphone and let's hit a basic overdrive. So straight away you can hear the difference there. Well, oh my, it's so much brighter, yeah? Compared to that sound we initially had. And all I've done is just hit this basic overdrive, and you can see the settings here. It's pretty flat across all three there, and nothing really else is added to this. So much brighter than before. So what else we got? Let's really destroy these vocals now. So we've got a bit crusher here. That really destroyed it. So this is a bit of a more boxy kind of sound. We've got this British clean sound, so we're definitely a bit further away. All right, so it's I call the mids are being pulled out of it. Whoa, that was insane. But now something like this broken app. So someone like Mike Patton from Faith No More, he uses a lot of these crazy screams like that. This is the kind of saturation that he would put on his vocals for something like that. We've got a clipping sound here, so turn down. Whoa, ho, ho, listen to the music. Whoa, ho. Now with it off and on. Whoa, ho. Whoa, that was a bad note. So you can see it really can brighten things up, but there are some things that will destroy the sound, like this. This is pretty aggressive. You can hear how much volume has been added to this just by this drive here. So let's pull that down. I mean, this can get really, really aggressive. You can really bring a vocal to life with this. You can hear just one click of a button, and it is very, very powerful. So you can hear how brutal that is now. Okay, now something like this has an LFO on it, and it's creating this bounce effect that's going side to side. And if you've got headphones right on, you're probably about to throw up. Whoa! Yeah, yeah. Hey, So again, like, thinking outside of the box, you could take your microphone and add a part in a song, like just humming along and using an effect like this. And then you've got a little radio kind of sound. I'm the man in the box. Shove my nose in shit. God, I could go on with that. Won't you come and save me? Won't you save me? So again, thinking outside of the box with vocals, all of this stuff can be used for what it's not really intended to be used for, because what are these effects really intended to use for but for fucking around with, to make interesting sounds. So alright, we've had a look at the microphone, a bit of guitar there, and let's just remove it now from this track because we don't really need it in there. So it's unnecessary to keep a plug-in on an empty track. There's another tip for you folks. If you're wondering why you're getting that dreaded optimizing performance, look at your empty tracks that you have. Do you have any open plugins that are on there? Get rid of them, clean them out. You don't need them. So we're going to jump into this fantastic performance here by Kyle, who's been sweating it out all night, creating this amazing take so he can feed his virtual children. And we're going to take his sound and we're going to add some Bleass saturation to it, and we're going to fuck with it and turn it into something totally different. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through, instead of adding just a preset to it, we're just going to run through all of the little modules within the app, and we'll see how the drum sound changes. So I'll just give it a bit of volume now that we're not destroying the sound with my voice. I can put down my mic, have a vape, because it is mic, isn't it? As soon as it pops up, it just says optimizing performance again. All right, so here's Kyle. We've got Bleass Saturator in here. Let's start Kyle bopping along. And we'll just solo him and we'll put him under the pump. So let's start by bringing the drums to life a bit, just by giving it a little bit of drive. You can see with your EQ here, so you can see all I'm doing is playing with the mid, and we're getting totally different sound. So we'll leave it back to around basic kind of sound. Now with any of these, like everything on Apple, very intuitive. Double click and it'll go back to the default levels. So let's move across now to this waveshaper. So what is this waveshaper? So you'll see in the middle here, you've got this very explanatory, a wave that is in a shape. Eat shit, Einstein, how good am I? So now these little knobs, yes, I know, I've said it folks, it's the favorite time of the show. We're heading to the knobs now. You've got all these little knobs down the bottom to control this waveshaper. So your offset, you can see the line in the middle here of this wave. If I start messing around with the offset here, it's going to move the line along the wave, and you should be able to hear it damaging, right? So it's changing the shape of this drum, yeah? So at the moment, this is set to 0. So that's the offset, but the depth of the offset is set to 0. So if we start turning this up, watch what happens. The wave starts to change. Now if I change this offset, you can really see it's really manipulating that down to it's destroyed it completely. So the next button is a period, and it's not what you think it is. So it's how many of the depth. All right, you can see here's the depth, the actual waveform changing, and here's the now we can give it some strength. We can determine how powerful we want this to be, which is already pretty intense. Cool. Now we'll move over to the bit crusher. So it's this singular line in here. So the bit crusher has two different ways. Let's just give Kyle a break. You all right, Kyle? How are your arms, man? Would you like a drink? No, fuck you. You're the drummer. No, I'm not helping you carry your gear out to your car, you fucking piece of... Anyway, so here's your bit crusher. Now with your bit crusher, you've got an off switch, and you've got a pre and post. So this is where it lands in the effects chain. All right, so you can have it hit before and you can have it hit after, basically. All right, so we'll start in plan again, and let's just fuck around with the bit crusher and see what this does to Kyle's awesome performance. So we'll add it as a pre first, straight away. Now this rate is set really high to 90%. If I pull this down, you start to think, am I listening to an Atari 2600? It sounds like that game River Raid by Activision on the Atari 2600, man. Let's smash some depth into it. What happens if we bring the waveshaper back in? And what you'll notice, how's that? Like boom! Hey, shaky guitar tutorials. We're looking at an app today called Saturator. On iOS. Yeah, this is 1942 by Capcom. Yeah. Now look what happens when I change the bit crusher to a post effect. I'm gonna just take out this. Not much. But that'll change. So when we turn it off, there we go. There's the basic drums again. So this app, and again, I'm just using, just single modules at the moment. Once you start mixing this all together, you get some freaking crazy shit. So we've got an LFO here as well. So let's fuck around with the LFO. First, we'll turn it up so you've got a volume control to bring in your LFO. And we've got a rate, right? Now, we have a target here. So what is this target? You can see the LFO's wobbling around here. It's shaking its booty over here, right? But we need it to connect to something, right? So that's what this target is. So, for example, have a look over here. I'm going to turn this period up, this depth, right? I'm going to point the LFO to this button over here. You can point this LFO to any of these buttons, right? So I'm directing it to take information from any of these. So I'm going to point it over to the period. You can hear this warble. If you follow this little pattern here, that's what you're hearing. Like a tremolo kind of effect, which is an LFO. Now you can change the rate of this. Mess with the offset. And you can even change the wave shape. Cool. So Scott says, was this app on sale for Black Friday? No, it wasn't on sale because it was available as pre-order on Friday. So I think it became available over the weekend. So it's just come out only a day or so ago. Its price is $7.99 US on the App Store. So that is the price of it. So yeah, it had a pre-order price beforehand. So it was a bit cheaper if you pre-ordered it. And now it's gone up to the price of $7.99. So this is really next level stuff, yeah? So let's grab a few presets here and see if we can... Look at that little wave file going crazy there with the LFO. Man, there's so much tension in that wave file there. So, all right, let's go back. We'll turn off of this and let's start it playing again, and we'll actually, you know what? Let's get it back to 0, back to default. Now let's have a look at the bass. What can we do with the bass? This is going to be fun because the bass, remember we've got this funky thing going on. Yeah. Bell bombs on Sesame Street, slapping your ass to the funky ass beat. Big Bird is really a man, he's talking to the dude in the rubbish can. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Alright, so let's add Bleass to this bass track. Okay, so you can hear straight away there's a lot of body that's coming to that. Boom. So before anything else, this is a really fantastic app just to have on the default setting to just turn on and just automatically give whatever sound you're adding it to some punch instantly, besides everything else that's included in it. And this is going to be fun to fuck around with this. Yeah, how fat is that? Yeah. My baby gonna get the whoa. She make me feel so good. Got to get down on the ground and be funky. Got to be so funky. Let's play around with it a little bit more. Yeah, he sure would, Gary. He would flip over this. So let's just keep this going and just go through some of these presets in here. Like this. Right, so let's get back to the drums and try and get something cool to match with this. So we'll pull this down the bass, we'll drop it down a bit. Alrighty dokey. As you can see, I'm just fucking around with it. And as usual, there is no right way to use an app. There is no wrong way, just your way. Okay, so I just thought I'd use it in GarageBand today just to show you there's a whole lot of fun to be had with this, a whole lot of different sounds from all of the bland stuff that you've probably already used in something like GarageBand. And yeah, my ears are fucked. Don't worry, I've got headphones on. I'm suffering as much as you guys, so but you know what? You need to suffer for your art. Just ask Optimizing Performance. Anyway, that'll get boring very quickly, trust me, folks. So there it is. That is the Bleass Saturator. As usual, this isn't a tutorial. This is just how to have fun with this thing, how to create different sounds out of the sounds that you already have. It's $8 USD. It's a little bit more here in Australia. And yeah, you can, as Pete's just said, he wants to play some Commando on C64. So if you're looking for that kind of sound too, that's really cool. As we've shown you, you can get some distortion on a guitar, create some crazy vocals, create some crazy fat bass, and really just break everything down and destroy it. The art of destroying things, that is what a saturator is. And it can be used very subtly as well, just to give you a performance lift and just make whatever you're listening to cut through the mix if you're heavy on with other instruments in a project. So that will be all for today, I do believe. Yeah, if you like today's show, give us a thumbs up. That makes me happy. That's good times, you know, and it fixes the algorithm and tells YouTube to fucking, you know, promote my videos more. You can go to howtoapp on iOS.com to catch up on previous episodes, or here on YouTube. What are we looking at tomorrow? We are looking at a very, as I said in the beginning of the show, we're looking at a very similar app. Not very similar. It's a saturator, got an LFO, so that kind of thing as well. But if you really enjoyed looking at the Fab Filter app on Monday, we are going to be looking at Saturn 2 by Fab Filter as well tomorrow. So again, pretty expensive app as well. Here's a saturator, really cool for playing guitar on. Lots of different sound effects you can create with this. A bit more complex than what we looked at today. So if you're wanting to get into saturation and all this kind of stuff, Bleass is perfect for that. If you want to go a bit crazy, you know, and get the top of the shelf kind of thing, we'll be looking at that tomorrow for you all. Hello, Bubba. Good to see you, my friend. And Shake Your Guitar tutorials. Look, thanks everyone for being here today. Hope to see you all tomorrow. And remember, I'm giving away 2 copies of Saturator. So leave a comment, subscribe to the channel on this particular video, and on Friday we'll be giving away 2 copies of this. So good luck for that. Have a fantastic day, my friends. Do the things that always make you happy, because that is the most important thing. All right? And be as creative as you can, because as the music's telling me, it's time to shut up and go and follow my own advice and go and optimize my performance. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.